Fnatic will go ahead and take out the Bounty Hunter as their first ban, and CDEC.Youth, again, we've seen this as kind of a theme. A lot of teams wanting to get rid of these invis heroes.
It just, I think Riki is actually harder to deal with than Bounty in most cases.
Bounty is like, different teams value the hero differently. Some teams like, whatever, this hero is, not as good as before, so they don't really pick or ban the hero, but certain teams would actually would rate the hero higher than other teams. I actually like the way the hero pool is right now. Certain teams will rate certain heroes higher, whereas before, like, oh, everyone has to play this hero, otherwise you're screwed.
I think that's a really good indicator of balance right now. I want to ask you guys, this is something that we've seen a lot less, especially since the most recent changes, where metamorphosis, most importantly, doesn't linger after death or reincarnation. Is Terrorblade still a first phase ban?
I mean, against Fnatic, I think so. I think they were one of the, well, they were the first team, I think, that picked it at the middle major. They ran it well, and they won a lot of games off the back of a Terrorblade. And it's clear that CDEC.Youth know this, and they're going to take it away. Would they pick Terrorblade? I don't know. But Fnatic, they decided to go for the Drow Ranger first, which to me, that's pretty exciting, because I first pick Drow Ranger is... It's kind of crazy that we're at that point, right? Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing now.
Yeah.
Already the third first phase Drow Ranger of this tournament. We saw Secret do it last night against Complexity, and
Riki first ban, Drow first pick. What a time are we in now?
Fnatic did that. I believe Fnatic first phase Drow in their opener against Navi yesterday in the game they won.
I mean, the hero is actually just very, very good now. In the past, we probably see Drow as like, okay, we need to do, if we pick Drow, we need to do this strat. But right now, Drow is like, oh, whatever, she'll work, because she scales well because of the Aghanim's Maelstrom, and she's really good in the laning phase.
I mean, you had that meta where it was like drill Visage, like a lot before they nerfed Visage, like 2 or 3 patches in a row. And there was also a lot of games where, you saw gap closing heroes like Clockwork used to be really prevalent in the off lane. And
PL and Brute was stronger.
Yeah.
And she used to have a rougher time because she didn't have that gust. The gust as it is now is very strong for her to be able to survive. She can gust TP potentially if she's ever in that
Navi game yesterday where he gusted and saved himself like 9 times.
Right.
Look at who's drafting on Fnatic. Okay, they're gonna win.
Okay.
They overheard you flaming them yesterday. They watched the games and they were like, all right, maybe there's something to this.
Before the Manila Major, when 343 was drafting, I was a big fan. Of course, that was against only SEA teams when they were playing, but he did a lot of work. Not only that, but obviously he's a very good player in his own right. So I'm a big fan of this.
That's why their drafting makes more sense now.
You can just tell on the bans in the first pick. They're picking good heroes, guys.
Casual
Must
flame.
not be Mushi trash.
Damn.
Wow.
Winter, come on, dude. You can't do him like that.
He's the only one who can flame him though, because he's known him forever.
Well, let's talk about the first phase Ogre. Let's talk about the Ogre Bat Open, because this is another thing that we've seen recently. This has just tremendous potential as an aggro dual lane to pressure the Drow.
Yeah, but for this team, right, they do run Bat Rider mid sometimes, because Inflame likes to play Bat.
Yeah, he did.
Bat and dumpstered Sumail's Mirana mid yesterday. On a Bat Rider.
Oh, the illusions.
Kotl,
we need to see Kotl against all the illusions.
Ban the Morphling, goodness.
I would have thought Vengeful Spirit might be a better choice because of Vengeance Aura and swap against Bat Rider.
But it's actually a lower commitment to use Disruption Illusions to push towers than it is to actually have the Aura. So it's actually more safe to use the Shadow Demon.
I think Venge is like, in the previous patch I would say yes, Venge is actually always preferred with the Drow, but and against the Bat. But right now with the buffs Shadow Demon got, I think SD is like
it's more versatile.
The new premier support for that, and it's like what Drasko said, more versatile. It's much more easy to play aggressive because the stun range, and if you compare the stun range and the range of disruption, if you're trying to get a kill early, SD is much better.
It's also not like guarantee killing yourself when you try to save somebody, because when you swap in, most of the time you're just dead to rights.
You're throwing your life away. And I do like using disruption against last hit targets. That actually is a pretty good defensive tool. Yeah, it's not swap, but I mean, it's pretty good.
And you can jungle with SD,
Yeah, poison, bro. that poison is actually insane.
Venge doesn't jungle.
Oh, how many? I mean, we've seen examples in games in the last couple weeks at the summit as well of Shadow Demons just dominating the early games with that poison. I mean, Jerax in one of the games at the summit got like 3 kills with Shadow Poison in like the first 7 minutes of the game.
Fear died yesterday at the beginning of the game. He had like, I think 5 stacks of the level 1.
Yeah, that was on a Lycan.
Yeah, 5 stacks of level 1 poison on him. He had 250 HP, and then he was instantly dead after that.
Blasted.
If you want evidence that illusion, that change to disruption matters, I was looking at some of the damage numbers last night, and of course, when right-click damage done by Shadow Demon illusions is credited by the game to Shadow Demon, and in that game where they had Morph, Shadow Demon, and Morph was replicating the Shadow Demon illusions, the game treats those replicates as if they belong to Shadow Demon as well. And Morphling in that game had 11.5k right-click damage. Shadow Demon did 9.5k right-click damage with his disruption illusions.
I mean, those illusions are no
crazy.
joke. They're no joke.
Morphling's probably also the best hero maybe besides TB.
True.
Oh yeah. Oh,
to have disruption illusions.
Yeah.
And teams have been banning Luna with it too. Yeah.
A little bit.
But she's not actually as stat heavy as Morph, and TB gets base damage from meta, which Luna only has.
So it's gonna be a mid Bat Rider, it seems, with the Darks here.
I mean, Inflame did this yesterday, and he had a great time.
This is such an aggressive opening though, because like you have Bloodlust. I think that CDEC.Youth are one of the teams that like the drums bad as well. So you can get like Bloodlust drums and just like be in the fight with an Ion Shell or a Surge, and you can just like wreak havoc on the laning phase.
Can they still pick Oracle? Oracle is so good versus Bat and
for
Dark.
Fnatic?
Yeah, Oracle is very good versus those two, and it seems like they might set up a Darkseer plus Ogre dual lane. Might be a lot of pressure for the draw early game.
Yeah,
depending
on
I
same
think so
concept.
Depending on what type of support you have to pair up with the SD.
I mean,
what about Disruptor instead of Oracle?
And what happened to that hero too? That hero was like ownage for a while.
The laning phase is a lot harder now, so I think Disruptor is actually not as common, because some heroes, like we were seeing a little bit of Furion yesterday, against like that type of hero, he's just awful in lane.
Right.
Like he does absolutely nothing.
Well,
but I think in this
to
situation,
be fair, only like 1 or 2 supports, like Witch Doctor or CM, can deal with the Furions. Like not many, like.
But I just mean in general, the laning phase is harder for the Disruptor than most other supports.
I mean, I'm fine with Oracle or Disruptor in this situation against the Darkseer in the offlane. I think. I mean, obviously Oracle owns Darkseer in many ways because of
But the thing with Oracle that I feel like is the problem is that if the Darkseer sees the Oracle pick, they might not even go to lane. You know what I mean? He might just bail.
So right now they go back for the pretty standard SD Dazzle. We saw so many games yesterday.
Yeah, again, this is what we're seeing yesterday picked with the Drow, where you got 2 support saves. Right?
No Huskar though, obviously.
Well, it's also like it's not just about the grave; it's just about having heal and Weave
better
is also
lane, like the laning phase is
Weave is gonna Weave with Drow Ranger is gonna own some of those heroes. It's actually gonna be able to just he'll thrash them with right clicks. I do want to ask about Fnatic. What do you think about a potential Tide for Ohio? I know that's like standard and stuff like that.
Tide is pretty good versus bad. It's a good idea.
Like counter initiation.
Yeah.
Like
you don't really want to lasso him either.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I think the big value of Dazzle here is that it locks down that bottom lane, that safe lane that you're probably going to see the Drow run in. It's a lot harder to do. You can obviously, but it's a lot harder to do a successful aggro dual lane against a Dazzle, if only because Dazzle will always have the wave shove. He'll prevent you from having to last hit under your tower all the time.
It's a really good pick versus Drow.
Yep.
It's easy for them to kill their own teammates.
Yep. Especially with how squishy they are. Although if Dazzle doesn't get caught by the curse, he could still brave through that and keep his teammates alive at the very least.
That's actually such a good hero against
really against Bat especially, but also
Bat and Darkseer.
Yeah.
Automatically, you have to get BKB on Bat now.
Yeah, that's the reverse dream. I'd like Fnatic's draft quite a bit better right now. I mean, the Wyvern is definitely good, and I think that if CDEC.Youth have a good laning phase, they have a shot, but I really am favoring Fnatic's draft.
I feel like the Soger's going to have to do a bit more work than maybe was intended. I mean, he's very good in the early game.
Because that's the problem, right? Like, they only have, I guess, you know, Darkseer, Winter Wyvern are mediocre D-pushers, Winter Wyvern being the better of the two, and then Bat Rider, you can put Firefly in front of the tower or whatever, but I just feel like if their lanes aren't going well, it's going to be very, very hard for them to stop the push.
Do CDEC.Youth run anything cheesy here? Remember they do have the overall last pick.
Not sure though. They don't really.
They need a core, right?
Yeah, they need a core.
Now?
Like
they don't really
like a Meepo?
Cheesy now.
They don't really strike me as a cheesy team.
Meepo would actually own that team.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at here, but I don't know if they run it.
Maybe if it was OG.
That would be the sickest thing. Oh, Mirana is mid?
Should be the mid hero.
Okay, they'll jug. All right.
I mean, it's a safe pick.
Very standard opening. Like both teams have very standard lineups.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about this yesterday. Like Annie is, I think, or Annie, however you say it, is their best player, and I like to see him on something a little bit more explosive. But if they can get the Jug off to an early start, this could be good. All right, final thoughts, guys. Who do you think is going to take this one?
I gotta say Fnatic. I just love their draft, and Fnatic has been, they've been struggling at the summit, but I gotta say since Manila they've looked good. So Fnatic for sure.
I just have to say, new 3-4-3 drafting, easy game. So Fnatic.
Fnatic as well.
All right, let's make it a clean sweep, boys. We're going to hand it off to our casters here. Mott and Winner are going to bring you all the action.
Thanks, guys. We're about to jump into the game now. CDEC.Youth, of course, waiting to pick up their heroes. We talked a little bit about this draft. Mushi playing the Mirana. Now, we talked a lot about his Invoker play and, what happened there. What do you think about Mushi on the Mirana?
His comfort hero.
Yeah.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah.
120%. He's very comfortable with the hero. And they have SD to set up the arrow. And even the Nyx, so... he's gonna be very active roaming with these two heroes, especially to find kills.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like there's so many ways to kill a lot of these CDEC heroes. Even the Juggernaut, I mean, you Vendetta, you Impale, you can't get that Blade Fury off in time. Demonic Purge, obviously very good against the Blade Fury as well. Slow him down through that match community too, so... That's something I'm looking forward to for Fnatic is how these supports in particular perform. And the thing is, though, it is going to be a Dazzle and a Shadow Demon. So you do have the heal bomb against the Darkseer, but he should be able to lane in that off lane for the most part, I think.
Yeah, but then again, if the Ogre is not down there, is it better just to Iron Talon and jungle from the start? Because if the Ogre is not going to go down to help him in the lane, there's no point for him to go down there. He's definitely not going to get as much as compared to just starting in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
They role swaps? They did role swap as well.
For who?
XZ was playing support yesterday.
Yes.
He was originally playing offlane on this team, then he swapped to carry, and then
now he's back to support.
He went to support yesterday.
Now he's back to offlane.
Now he's back to his normal role when he was playing for CDEC last year.
It's pretty interesting. So, we'll see let's see. Does XC have no Iron Talon? He's a Soul Ring to start off with, which is actually not that surprising to me. So he's not going to go there from the get-go. He might try to lane and see how it goes.
It means the Ogre will be most likely paired in the lane with him. See, you look at Demons. Demons has a Ring of Protection up. So I think, judging by the items, they are poised to contest the lane. And well, Inflame, starting out with a Windlace.
We did it, Winter.
He did it.
The item that we know and love has now been picked up for this Batrider. First of all, I mean, Windlace is a very common item on Batrider to begin with, and eventually if you do build into Drum, obviously Windlace is one of those components. So, I mean, it's kind of shocking that it went this early for the Windlace.
And you get another Windlace after you complete the Drum.
Yeah,
that's the dream.
The one thing is, and Drastical was talking about this, the Windlace, you don't get that past
there we go.
They actually aggro Trial, and they're going to go for the heal bomb as well. Frost Arrows would be able to slow him down, but of course get a Blade Fury and be able to avoid that slow. So he will take a lot of damage. He does have a salve. He's going to burn through that regen pretty quickly, and he needs some help in that top lane. And like you said, it will probably be a dual lane bottom. I think the Ogre is down there at the time. He's actually heading towards mid right now, so...
They have to bring the Ogre top if they want to contest, or they can just roam the Ogre between mid lane and bottom lane to try and pressure the other lanes. This is usually the option that I would prefer.
That's awkward.
He has lead though.
Yeah, he has lead. He should be okay.
He's okay.
One stack of sticky Napalm Fireflies gonna go. They would have to dive the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, hopefully he skilled arrow.
No such luck, CDEC.Youth, I'm sorry to tell you.
Mushi has a Windlace too, with his starting item.
Man, you're so happy right now, I think.
Oh, that's unusual though for Mirana.
Yeah, because you have Leap anyways, and you're going to get boots pretty quickly, but we'll keep an eye on that mid lane matchup, and we'll see how it goes. Mushi actually might be dead here. He's Leap up in 3 seconds. He is not going to survive. He walks up, and he just gets killed by the Batrider coming through with the help of the Ignite coming out. Yeah, he went up way too early. I know he probably wanted to get CS, but there's no reason for you to walk up without Leap, I think.
Yeah. This Ogre's pressure has certainly paid off for his team. And bottom lane XZ Darkseer versus Nyx, not much to say about this. This lane is really good for Darkseer. because you can always just I mean, Nyx can do what he's doing right now, use the mana burn. But as long as the Darkseer stays away from the lane, you just creepscape, and you make sure that if the Nyx wants to come over to mana burn you, he has to travel a long distance, and he's gonna miss creeps, then it'll be fine for him.
And also, it doesn't even matter because eventually he's gonna get a soul ring on the Darkseer, so even if he gets mana burn, he can just soul ring and then just continue on to dark.
I mean, this lane is definitely really good for Darkseer, so
it's still very even in CS for the time being, but that might change. And again, the tower, like you said, creep skipping, there's a good chance that that tower goes down very early. He did just use his soul ring, gets mana burn, so that kind of sucks for XZ.
He just needs to be careful with that. When he uses soul ring, he don't get too low, so the Nyx can't really kill him with a stun plus mana burn combo. That's the only thing he needs to be careful. As long as the lane is always constantly shoved in, and he's creep skipping, and he has enough mana to use Iron Shell on one wave of creeps and then move into the jungle, then he'll be constantly out farming and out leveling the Nyx. And if you look at the other lanes, I mean, Mirana got killed. I mean, it's not a solo kill, Olga was there, so Bear Rider was definitely gonna have a head start in that lane. And top lane Fnatic is doing pretty okay. If you look at the CS, Jug has 11 CS. Drow has 9.
It was an aggro tri-lane, and
it's not even that bad though. Like, Drow is still farming more than the... sorry, not Drow. Jug is still farming more than the Drow.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like, this is an aggro tri-lane, or at least it was an aggro tri-lane against the Juggernaut, and he's still getting plenty of CS. 3-4-3, sticky Napalm and Ignited. They'll drop an Observer Ward on the high ground as well to make sure they have some vision if they wanted to chase after Mushi or, of course, the Shadow Demon. But
these dual heroes are very, very scary in the first 5 to 10 minutes. The Ogre plus the Bat, and you have the Bloodlust for the Bat Rider later, plus your Wind Lace, so you're gonna be extremely fast. So it's gonna make life for Bat Rider pretty easy.
It feels like Fnatic almost has to survive this laning phase and try to keep it as even as possible, because right now these lanes
Arrow.
And they have Arrow's gonna hit on demons as well, and Starstorm will come through. The damage isn't there yet. He's low, and he will finally go down. The Firefly is up in Flame looking for damage. Impale comes in, Sticky Napalm is up as well, and Flame about to go down. One more right click will get the kill, but he will be able to Firefly up into the Roach pit, and he might just deny himself and will do so.
Well done.
He should not have survived there, but 3-4-3 going down could have been the last auto attack, but he unfortunately died before he could get it done.
There was very good play going for the kill there, allowing him to actually survive, and he was gonna die to the poison, so he did the right thing, suicided to the Roshan. So great play there coming out from Inflame.
And Flame getting that kill, denying himself, making sure that Mushi doesn't get too much out of it, or pretty much any of the supports that were there. There's going to be the Splinter Blast, and DJ will have to back up. So we talked about DJ being on a playmaking hero. This time he's on a Dazzle. He can help his team, but it's not like what we saw from the Manila Major. He's not playing one of those high-impact heroes like a Nyx, for example.
She's getting Dove.
Mid lane. Now it looks like he's going to be actually getting help from 3-4-3 to Disruption. They get off the arrow as well. Nice Shadow Demon Disruption, as well as the Shadow Wave coming out from DJ there to set that up. And Inflame just getting a bit too aggressive, trying to find Mushi again. This time it backfires, and he will go down. Not only did he just die to Roche, and he's been down for a couple of seconds, he also just respawns, comes back mid, and dies again. So missing out on some key CS here in the early game for this Bat Rider.
Yep, happens, you know, when you get cocky. You just made a good play, and then, I can go for more. You know, typical players.
I don't think there's a ward there for Fnatic. There's not much vision around that mid lane, so really,
there's 2 wards, right? There's 2 wards.
There's 1 ward on the opposing hill for CDEC.Youth, and then I don't think.
No, for Fnatic there's 2 wards if you look.
Where? Oh, there is one over there. Okay, I couldn't see it. It's a little far away from me, but. Alright.
You need to buy new glasses, Travis.
I definitely do. That's 100% true. I think you told me that last time we casted with each other. Listen, my eyesight aside, they still have some good vision. They have a lane ward there, as you can see. Now we're going to get pointed at. We have the ward on the river as well. And now Inflame, he's going to do Bat Rider things. He's going to head to the jungle and take 2 big stacks here and get a fair bit of farm. So he's already got Tranquil Swan, Windlace, and Raindrops, by the way. The 2 best items in the game.
2 of the best items, and you see CDEC right there when they were clearing the stack. Ohio was off the map, so they used a scan to make sure that he's not running into the jungle to kill Inflame.
Now this would be the perfect time to contest had Fnatic had a ward there, or had they known if they were stacking, but no such luck. And right now it's just really the Drow, you know, Ohio and Mushi farming their lanes.
Because like most likely the first tempo of the game will come from the Nyx, because everyone else on CDEC are gonna just rely on the Bat to get his playing, because the early game tempo like would be on demons, where I think he already done his job in the early game roaming around, so they're just gonna have to wait for the bat to come online with the blink before they make the next play.
He's gonna have level 2 Bloodlust, then he's gonna put that point, or level 2 Ignite, excuse me.
Yeah.
Then he'll put that point into Bloodlust, and then it gets a little bit scary because that Bat Rider's even faster.
I wonder if he's actually gonna choose to prioritize more on Bloodlust, because Bloodlust this game is pretty useful on the bat and the Juggernaut.
I think one value point, I mean definitely, but I don't know if he gets more than that at this point. We'll wait and see his scale build. But for now, leading the CS is actually going to be Ohio in that safe lane with 42 against the Darks here, which is very surprising. But then the next 3, of course, being on CDEC.Youth, they're having a pretty great laning phase. They've gotten a couple of kills. Inflame did get a little cocky earlier, like you talked about. He did go down mid. But otherwise, this is looking like a pretty solid laning phase coming up from CDEC.Youth, Winter.
Yeah, but right now, overall, the Knicks still hasn't really gotten any kills for his team,
Well,
so we have
this is
to.
where it's gonna happen.
Yeah, we have to wait for that to see.
He's hitting Pale, no blade
Wow,
coming out, and he's done.
I was actually surprised he actually went for the backstab damage bonus. I was thinking,
You'd rather just go for the Impale first?
yeah, he would have the same. That was the safest play, because maybe he was expecting that the Jug would not be ready for that, because he was cutting the corner, so he thinks that he have enough time to hit him with the Vendetta strike and then use his Impale afterwards. So he actually got it. So they were able to burst the Juggernaut down very quickly.
Ohio's a player, man. Let me tell you.
I mean, he chose, I think, the best possible moment to go for that, because he was like turning to the left, so he probably didn't expect that to happen.
LTB down bottom as well. They'll set up maybe a gank with 343. He has a Smoke of Deceit ready to go. Look at that Quelling Blade, some of these trees.
Like I said, the Knicks is just going to be the main hero moving around to get kills for his team. Everyone else is just going to sit in the lane, wait for TP to react. And maybe Mirana at some point will also join in the fight.
Here's the TP coming in for the Draw Ranger, realizing that there's farm to be had. And XE will now back up and away. No sentries, but he's going to surge out. I don't know. I don't think there was a sentry in lane. I think he just had an understanding that they were coming.
Yeah, he just felt that it wasn't safe, because if you look at the map, not many heroes are on. There's only 2 heroes. There was like the Drow showing himself, and top lane we have the Dazzle showing. So there was only 2 heroes on the map.
When the Nyx Assassin is missing especially, then you start getting a little freaked out. Especially if you're in a solo lane and you need to be able to survive. So
Bat Rider has his blink.
He has 1300. He just has.
Oh, he's going for the
Windlace infused. Yeah, he's gonna go for the drum build. They're gonna go and smoke up S3 and head towards that. It looks like the top lane for now. They're making a decision. Do we go mid? Do we go top? Who do we look for? Do we go behind the tower? Do we dive? And it's going to be Mushi, who is very far up, and he is going to have to try to avoid this as best as possible. He'll see Inflame come from the backside. Sticky 8 bombs up. He has relief at the ready. He's got phase boots, and I think they just took the wrong path. He leaps and avoids the flame break. Mushi getting out just fine. CDEC.Youth not finding that kill, even though they committed 3 heroes to the Smoke of Deceit gank. Meanwhile, bottom. Yeah, no surge. There it is, finally. And now it looks like mid one will try to TP Blade Fury first. Vacuum, do they have it? Not there in time, and he gets away.
Low level to have vacuum.
Yeah, no vacuum. I was thinking maybe at 1 level of it, but no, you're right, 2 low level.
Sometimes certain players would actually save a skill point for that. It's very rare, but I see players do that before, and here comes Ohio again.
Vendetta and Pale, no Blade Fury arrow on the mark. They drop the wall down, it's not going to help, and now there's the disruption on top. Soulcatcher will come through. They have the stars from XZ in some trouble. Surge down available finally is, but he won't make it out in time, and Mushi picks up a double kill.
Ohio is a boss, man. He's always at the right place at the right time, setting up so much for his team, moving around very well.
This is the type of hero I love to see Ohio on.
Nyx, Clockwork, Bat Rider, all these heroes is very exciting.
Tide, Darkseer.
Yeah.
Any one of those 5.
Tide maybe not so much, because it's more of you play around your team.
Yeah, that's true.
Or blink, then you group out and push. But heroes like Nyx truly shows that.
Where you can make a solo play.
Yeah, shows how much you can influence the flow of play, and we see another disruption. Poison Soulcatcher by 343 arrow.
Nice arrow, it'll hit. That's going to be probably roughly a 5-second stun, but they have to back up. There's a lot of TP reactions.
They have the lasso.
And they will get 343 without the lasso. I don't think they need it. He has Demonic Verge, but didn't have the mana for it, and that's why he needs, I think, the raindrop for some of that mana regeneration.
Draw? Oh, okay, Draw is going for, yeah, of course, the Dragonlance. Dragonlance first.
What does Mushi have, real quick, if we can check? Phase, 1500 gold, Windlace. Does he have anything on the courier, or is it? This is just really good early game items, I think, which is nice.
Yeah, it's rather uncommon to see. I think most players would just have brown boots, then they go into the Aghanim's because you want to get bots later. He's gone for the phase boot, so he can actually run around. Remember the game? Were you watching the game when he was playing Invoker yesterday, when he was always constantly around his team? And I suggested if he's playing around his team so much that you should get as much early game items as possible because you just want to roam and help your team.
Well, right now he might need his team to help him as he's getting an Omni Slash leap. Good disruption. Regen's still there. They'll take it for the Ogre, however. There's the Shadow Wave. They still have Grave available. Arrow is going to be sidestepped by both of them, and here comes Inflame. He was smoked up, and he's looking for that last of the first of the game, Ohio. Gets up a nice spike carapace. There's the Blade Fury, and 3-for-3 might be another sacrificial lamb. But at least Ohio will get Demons. It looks like Mana Burn comes in with the Venomous Data Strike as well as Impale to hit up. They're going to use the Winner's Curse to set this up, though, and now Ohio's in a lot of trouble. No spike carapace. He's got it now, but he's going to get lasted up. He's got 10 wand charges, or 16 wand charges, rather. And he might be able to impale here and survive, but the turn radius coming out from the Batrider is too much. The Grave will come through. There's the TP, but they have the vacuum finally, and his XC will stop. It turns into a 2-for-1 trade.
That was close, man.
Yeah.
All the stick charges and the raindrops that he had almost saved him.
His turn radius wasn't so slow from the Batrider. He might have been able to get off an impale quicker, but
Yeah, that too.
that's a pretty good fight coming out. Oop. Arrow, whew, almost hits XC's tail, but he's able to avoid it. And it is the point boost for Mushi. So, like you talked about, no brown boots, but it is phased boots into Aghanim Scepter. And with the way he's farming right now, he's doing pretty well.
I mean, this build has been just the new bread and butter build for Mirana ever since he got introduced.
Yes.
The Aghanim's build. I was thinking at the start of it, I'm like, oh, maybe it's just a flavor. Everyone's just temporarily doing this, and then everyone kept doing it until now.
It's very good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is an item that speeds up. Number one, speeds up your farm. Number two, allows you to get a lot of kills easily if you can actually get Aghanims at a very good timing.
I mean, that's the problem we used to see with Maranas when they were playing in the carry role. A lot of Maranas would go Maelstrom so they could farm quicker, and it wasn't like the most effective thing.
Sometimes even Lincoln, so you have the mana regen, so you can constantly like spam the Starstorm to farm. But right now with the Aghanims, it gives you more HP, and then you have more kill power as well because you have the double Starstorm.
It's very strong in the early game.
Yeah,
if you get that first item roughly anywhere from 60 to 20 minutes into the game, like no one's gonna have a BKB. They only have Match Community coming out from the Juggernaut.
Like
so.
the Mirana has played something like a Shadow Fiend early game.
Yes.
Where it's all about the spell damage.
Yep.
And then you have Drow to back you up with the
This
physical.
Jug cannot afford to die, I think, in this situation. Ohio is shadowing
Nyx
him.
is alone though.
He's alone right now. Mirana is dealing with, I think, Group Wave at the tower. I again remember that Vendetta lasts a very long time
if
now.
he farms the small camp, he might die.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's gonna Blade Fury. That is not good.
He's dead.
Ohio will shadow him, and he's gonna use his Vendetta, and Pale will hit. It was a little bit closer maybe than he would have liked. Arrow's gonna come through. No. Mushi didn't throw it.
Oh
yet.
yeah, there were creeps there.
in front of him.
The angle was
He could have
wrong.
sat behind the small camp and shot through the woods.
Yeah,
the trees.
I think he was maybe anticipating that the creeps were all dead, and then he ran away, and then he realized, oh crap, there's creeps there, so he can't shoot an arrow.
So luckily the Jug does survive. He'll have to go back, maybe heal up. He's working on the Battle Fury, obviously. So again, the late game will be there for CDEC.Youth if he can get that. If he can get some
they have
farm.
one more combo as well in the late game. They have like Darkseid and Wyvern are really good late game. So their heroes definitely scale well. They have a good team fight, good Roshan potential with the healing ward and the
They're
Juggernaut.
on Dire, so that's good.
And then they have Bloodlust. So finally we have the dagger on Inflame. So we'll see whether it's gonna allow them to get a key pick off and go for like a Roshan or even towers, any objectives.
Looks like they're setting up for a smoke gang.
Yeah, Fnatic is
Fnatic.
starting to slow down the pace of the game because the Nyx factor is starting to get less and less effective because the sentries and your opponents are ready for you right now, so he's going back for the Midas to start to farm towards his mid to late game items. You want to get the Aghanims if possible.
They did show themselves down towards that ward in the jungle, and here's a smoke from CDEC.Youth.
Yeah,
It looked
the
like
dagger.
Fnatic was going to smoke, but now they're going to head down bottom, and this should be a kill on the Drow Ranger. Although 3-4-3 is there for defensive disruption. Gus comes out, but it's too late. There's the disruption, vacuum into the wall. Demonic Purge will go into XC. There's the dust up as well, and mid one. He'll end up falling down, so they do get a great kill. Now there's going to be Winter's Curse as well. Ohio being caught, no damage really being done. It was DJ that was actually attacking him. Moonlight Shadow will go, but this is already not a great fight. Still, though, Demon's taking a lot of damage. He'll go down. Arrow hit perfectly from Mushi, but there's the Omni Slash DJ. One more right click, the Shadow Wave will go. The Blade Fury should finish him off. Diving behind the tier 2 tower right now, and CDEC.Youth will be successful in killing 3 heroes, including their Drow Ranger as well as Nyx Assassin.
Yep, that was the point where CDEC.Youth are really strong with the initiation from the Batrider. Then they had the follow-up of the Curse and the Darkseid Wall, and obviously the Omni Slash as well. So So Fnatic they got caught, so they lost a hero very early on, so they were not in any position to retaliate or take the fight.
So despite a strong early game from Fnatic right now, as you mentioned, they're slowing down the pace of the game.
I don't think it was even that strong though, like because the only lane that did well was the next lane, and apart from that, Mirana got killed early, and their draw didn't pressure. Technically, he didn't pressure the Jug as much as they would like to.
I think Ohio though was making a lot of space for his team.
He was the only saving grace for his team.
Well, right now, with of course him and the rest of his crew going down in that situation, you're starting to look at a little bit of a net worth deficit coming through. As CDEC.Youth should be in the lead when it comes to the net worth graph, as they have a 1,500 net worth advantage right now. And again, Drow Ranger's still very strong when it comes to the mid and late game. Obviously, Mushi almost has his Aghanim Scepter, so their timing window is almost there in their own right. But they'll have to deal with the Batrider and the Lasso. They'll have to deal with Vac Wall coming out from the Darkseer.
Even when they hit their timings with the Aghanims of Mirana, they have really good pushing power with the Drow and the Mirana. But if you look at CDEC.Youth, they have also like heroes that push out lanes very well, like the Darkseer, the Bat with Firefly, even the Jug. When the lanes are always constantly pushed out, it's very difficult for a hero like Nyx, you know, to find a pickoff when all the lanes are always shoved towards your side of the map. So it's going to be very dependent on who gets deeper what's down in the enemy team, who gets better vision, and who gets the jump.
Well, that might happen here as they have smoked out one of the best times to ward. However, Ohio, he'll be the one that's probably going to get caught, although he has to spike Carapace up. Nice weave onto 4. If they want to fight this, they might be able to do so. Ohio will get caught. They have Grave. The disruption will come out first from 343. He's going to get caught. There's going to be the wall. Grave is there in time, but he still will end up going down. Is a trade 1 for 1 as the Starstorm is going to take down the Wyvern. Now in Flame gets silenced up, was trying to use the Fire Blast, can't get it done. Mushi gets double A boss 3, they might even lose 4. XZ getting chased down, he's got Surge in 1. Mushi, not sure if he has an arrow ready to go, but he still should be able to bring him down. 2 more right clicks will do the job. He's just so low, and it's going to be the poison that actually gets it done for 343. 4 dead for CDEC.Youth.
Yeah, they were like lacking the Juggernaut there when they made that big play. I was talking about the lanes, because they made a move where all 3 lanes are pushed towards Fnatic's side of the map, so they smoked out 4 heroes towards the jungle, but Fnatic they're having more heroes around the area, so, and obviously they had the Aghanims on the Mirana, which did so much in that small skirmish there for them.
Yeah, I mean, it immediately got that kill, I think, onto, the Wyvern.
They killed the Wyvern, yeah, and the Batrider couldn't get away as well.
I mean, that Cold Embrace, without it, you kind of lose a bit of your effectiveness in team fights, being able to save your heroes.
It's not only that, it's like the combo. They needed the Wyvern there with the Darkseer Vacuum so they could actually take the team fight.
He didn't get his Winner's Curse off, did he?
Nope.
Okay.
He just died. So that was a very big deal, a very big deal for CDEC. They have to be much more careful about their execution, their positioning, and make sure that whenever they get the jump, they need to protect their supports.
And as you and Indy mentioned during the draft, BKB is a necessity for this this Batrider, and he has picked up the Ogre Club right now.
Yeah, I think against the Nyx, usually the bread and butter build will always be Blink plus 4 stuff, but against Nyx, depending on the situation of the game, you might need to get an early BKB, because the hero just disrupts what you're trying to do in team fights so much that you have no choice. You need to get the BKB when as soon as possible.
What do you think about the Blink on Mushi? I mean, we often see Lincoln Sphere, sometimes Shiva's...
Blink is common after the Aghanims. I think it's very good so that you can utilize your Aghanims well, and you can use the Blink to initiate instead of the leap, so you blink in, you drop your damage, and then you leap out. So then you wait for your next cooldown, you go in again. So very good way of outputting damage as the hero with Aghanims and ensuring that you always have escape.
One of the most mobile heroes in the game right now is going to be that Mirana and Mushi playing it. CDEC.Youth will stay together as they will avoid the Smoke of Deceit gank, but again, and this is more about getting vision down, I think, for Fnatic than anything else. I don't know if they actually placed any wards, but they certainly had the opportunity to do so. And it looks as if right now they just don't have any.
At this stage of the game, you want vision around Ancients area, because teams are always like farming the Ancients, and especially when you have a battle for you on Jug, you're always constantly using that. Oh, DJ is going to be the first one caught.
He walked up. I don't know what he was expecting.
He was just maybe trying to go towards the rune area, but he didn't even have any wards, so maybe he was worried that they were doing Roshan, but it was still very risky for him to scout that out alone and looking at them. But then again, because they don't have vision on the jungle area, so it's either they are in the jungle or they are on the Ancients area. So he just probably felt that he needed to scout. But right now,
He could have, I guess he could have weaved over at the usage stack.
Yeah, I guess, but he's dead now, so it's... Roshan is open for...
He's up in 6. I don't know, this Rosh isn't going that fast.
Yeah, but look at where Mushi is. Like,
yeah, I don't think they have any vision on the river, though. That's the problem. I think they have no idea that this is happening.
Yep, so once CDEC see Mirana on top, they feel like, okay, this is our Roshan right now. And Ogre is indeed... Oh, he TP'd in.
They're gonna go for it, but I think they're gonna be too late to get the Aegis. They might take a fight regardless. This Rosh is about to fall. Arrow will come through. Who's he gonna hit? Didn't hit anybody. It was too far away. Ohio misses the Impale, actually, and now we get... Of course, they actually will break down the Wyvern before he can get that Winter's Curse off. Omnislash doing a fair bit of damage. DJ can't get the Brave, and now 3 for 3. Use that Demonic Purge. Mid one in a lot of trouble. Vacuum back, and he will fall. He was left out to dry. Now 3-4-3 will be next on the chopping block. And use the Flame Break to push him back. There's the Blade Fury. They get the double kill for the Jug with his newly minted Battle Fury. Not to mention Roshan going down for CDEC.Youth.
That was a disaster for them. They were just a little bit too late. But they had no choice. They had to wait for the Dazzle to, you know, revive. So before they could make any play towards the Roshan that area. So it was really close, but unfortunately for Fnatic, they weren't there on time. So bad team fight by them. Losing Roshan, losing 3 heroes, Midon going down. They have to try and draw out the game towards the later portion where Drow is able to get the Maelstrom. Aghanim's keep farming. Because they have pretty good speed push with the Mirana Axe, plus a very good wave clear with the Drow and Mirana later into the game when they hit that point. So right now CDEC are going to fortify their team fight with the Crimson Guard on the Darkseer.
That's huge.
Yeah, Pipe would also be really good if he's going to go for it, because Mirana outputs a huge amount of
they could maybe pick up a Pipe on somebody else, but XE is going to be shadowed by Ohio, who should have enough for, and Dale, he will drop the mana burn, the air is going to hit up, and XE is done.
He just stopped moving there.
He's like, I guess I'm dead. And wasn't even expecting those heroes, but Ohio again, he's the one making plays for Fnatic right now, and he's going to be able to keep them in the game with Vendetta plays like that. But
I wonder if he's actually going to get a Blink first, or he's going... probably Blink. I think you have to always play with Blink.
Yeah.
I was thinking whether he thinks about going into the Aghanims right away, because I see sometimes players do it. But I think that Blink is really, really important on Nyx.
I would definitely agree. We'll wait and see if that's going to be the case. He hasn't picked up a point booster, so Aghanim Scepter is more than likely not the choice.
Yeah.
We will wait and see, though, as of course they have picked up that BKB for the Bat Rider. That is one of the most important items in this game.
Right now, CDEC are in control. Like, this is their timing. As soon as you get the BKB on the Bat, you have a very, very comfortable initiation. So.
And they pick up the gem. This is what I was about to talk about. I was wondering if they were going to get the gem sooner rather than later, so that they could deal with that Moonlight Shadow as well as Nyx Assassin. Gem is at an all-time premium in this game, just to make sure. If you lose it, yes, it's devastating for CDEC.Youth, but the amount of work that it's going to get done, not only vision-wise, but on top of that, also warding, is very, very strong. They already have a pretty strong chokehold in this jungle, and
yeah, it's their timing right now. Definitely good to get the gem, because like I mentioned, with the BKB on the bat, they have a very good way of initiating. So it's really, really good that they have the gem on the bat, so he can control the map, remove the vision, and put his team in a much better position in the game.
Age is still up for 2 minutes for the Juggernaut. Do you think they sit back and farm a bit more, or do they decide to go for a push or a fight?
I think they definitely look for, you push out the lanes first, you find a good opportunity to move in and further extend your advantage. But Victoria gonna get scout out by none other than the Nyx again. So
later.
Ohio once again proving to be a very, very important hero to make space and create.
The Wyvern's like, I thought we bought a gem. Isn't this what this is for? Like, what's going on, guys? They're all pushing bottom. Like, oh, sorry about that.
Advice: if you buy the gem, stick with the gem.
Wyvern was not taking that advice, unfortunately. But here comes the rest of.
He was trying to set up for the defense. So I mean, he was trying to get ready for his team to come in. So unfortunately, Ohio found him first. So. Wasn't entirely his fault that he was alone there. He was just merely setting up and trying to spam down with his Splinter Blast.
Understandable. And one Wyvern death is not the end of the world. I do want to say, though, there is an Ethereal Blade being built by Mushi on the Mirana. He has the Ghost Scepter now. Obviously very good against the Omnislash this game. There is still a fair bit of magical damage coming out from CDEC.Youth, but Omnislash is going to be one of the main reasons to use the Ghost Scepter and then Ethereal Blade for extra damage.
It's very good against the Curse as well, because you can use it on your teammate when he gets cursed. So overall, it's an item that has extremely many usefulness in the game, and we get the last
mid one Lasso's gonna come out. He's gonna get disrupted, but he's already in a bad position. Blade Fury is gonna go, and he'll try to right click, but he is just dead at this point. He's gonna take too much damage. The Blade Fury will come, the right click is there. Air will hit onto Demons, they'll keep chasing, and 343 will be next to fall. They will be able to pop the BKB for Inflame. And with 2 dead now, they have the avenue open to be able to take down this tier 2 tower mid.
They're just doing all the right things. They push out all the lanes, and Ohio has to take care of the bottom lane. So once he showed himself in bottom lane, immediately CDEC made a move in the mid lane. So recognizing that the Nyx isn't there, making a play, and obviously it's their timing. Like I mentioned, they have the BKB on the bat. So their initiation is really, really strong right now. So taking full advantage of that, getting the Drow and the Shadow Demon in the process.
The Strong Ranger starting to struggle in terms of what she has and accrued in terms of items, and net worth is, she's sitting a little bit below the Darkseer right now. Blink, nice dodge from the Juggernaut, getting away from that Impale. That was certain to hit had he not blinked away in time. Just good timing, obviously very good vision coming out for CDEC.Youth, and it looks like Fnatic, they're just struggling to find targets to kill. And there is that Ethereal Blade, excuse me, that will help, but they do pick up a gem of their own for Ohio, which is, I like it. I think it's pretty solid choice.
Like I talk about gems all the time. When you're ahead, you want a gem to get further ahead. When you're behind, you want a gem to come back into the game, because it's the same concept. You want to remove their deep wards, because when they're ahead, they're pushing your towers. They have map control. They have all these deep wards down your map. So you need to be able to remove them, reduce their vision, so you can actually get kills. So it's just an item that you need right now at this point if you're Fnatic.
I'll have to try to get that.
Not if you drop it. If you drop it, it's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that CDEC.Youth don't need another gem. So if you lose the gem, at the very least,
yeah, I guess so.
It's not even that. I'm just trying to find like the positives here for Fnatic to lose the gem. Really, there aren't any. If you lose the gem, you lose the gem, and then it sucks.
The positives is Mushi is still really, really farmed this game.
He is. He is the second in net worth, only to the Juggernaut. And because the Jug was able to get that Battle Fury, he's able to farm a bit faster, and he's gotten a lot of kills as well.
A bit faster is actually an understatement.
Yes. You get that Battle Fury.
That's why I'm not a fan of the Vanguard Juggernaut, which was quite popular like maybe a month ago. I was really not a fan of that, and then players stopped doing that. Like everyone else, just because as a Juggernaut, you don't need the Vanguard to fight early. The hero is just equipped.
You can fight early anyway.
Blade Fury. Yeah, basically you just have to come in at the right time, use your spells correctly, have Aquila. Maybe that's the only early game item you need, and you're just the same hero.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Whereas a hero like AM, he could use a Vanguard to be able to fight early
it still depends on. I still think it depends really on the game though. Not every game you should get a Vanguard.
Something that triggers a lot of us English casters is when they go Vanguard and then they go like either the burning build with Vanguard, or like they max out Blink, they like at 1 point in mana break. That triggers some people, I know for sure.
Oh, talk about triggering some people. Getting Manta Store on certain heroes also triggers some people.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. Man, you know what's my favorite build, Winter? I love going phase.
Inflame is going in, Travis. He has the BKB.
I'll talk about Manta at another point. It looks like 343 is going to fall. Can't self-disrupt, and DJ will be next. Double kill for the Juggernaut, and it just keeps unraveling for Fnatic right now.
Man, they didn't have a very good early game, and it's starting to show now, because against CDEC's lineup where they had heroes that are very good at team fighting, and you don't get a lead because their heroes are better. You have a Drow lineup, and if you didn't win the early game and you go into the mid game to obviously mid or late game against a Darkseer plus Wyvern combo and the Lasso, it's gonna be difficult for you to take a head-on team fight outside of the map. So there we see once again CDEC using the initiation, BKB initiation on the bat to start off the fight, get a pick off.
So what can you do then as Fnatic?
They need to.
Is that the only thing you could do?
Yeah, I think they need to get more items on the draw, especially like you mentioned, get towards that timing where you have the Maelstrom and the Aghanim's, so that you can actually prolong the game and obviously scale better as the game progresses. Right now, they're not strong enough to fight, so I mean Mushi is the only
dead. Oh, she got Omni Slash. He didn't use it in the last fight. He just played Furies right on top of her.
Damn, that was a big pick off there.
Caster Curse. You're just talking about mid one needing items, and then boom, he's dead next second. That's rather unfortunate for Fnatic. He really can't afford to die.
CDEC is just playing this game so well. They're just outplaying Fnatic.
And we loved Fnatic's draft as well.
Yeah, because everyone was like, oh, they're gonna have a very solid early game, and then this game they had a disastrous early game, except for Ohio.
Wow. Well, he did as best as he possibly could. And there's the last one, 3-4-3. The Grave will come out rather early, and back and into the Winter's Curse right now. It should be enough to at least keep them in place, but they won't actually fall. Ohio will end up going down as he gets fire blasted at the end, and that's a double kill for Inflame in this game.
They get
looking
the
more and more
backlines.
over as we keep going on.
I mean, they get the backlines every time. The SD, like SD and Dazzle is very, very annoying for Bad Rider to play against, but every time he finds them first.
Yeah, I mean, the disruption is not enough. The grave is not enough clearly for Fnatic for them to keep themselves alive or to even turn a team fight around. I would prefer, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but I would have preferred to see a support hero that has an impact.
And by the way, the Ogre did choose to max the Bloodlust.
Good. Move speed. I mean, it gives you everything, really.
You're not a believer. You said 1 point. You're not a believer.
No, dude. I was wondering. I wasn't. All right, there's no way I'm gonna convince you, but I like Max Bloodlust. I'm gonna throw that out there. All right.
And I like Windlace. So we both like move speed.
We do. We are big move speed fans. Ohio has picked up his blink.
He has a Windlace in his stash and a Quelling Blade on the hero. I mean, I guess
that gem back. He died. How did he get that gem back?
I think they didn't lose it.
I think he probably dropped it. They picked it up on the steps.
But they still force out a buyback on the Nyx, so that's gonna delay his Agadims a lot. And Darkseer completes the Greaves.
One good Starstorm Ethereal Blade from Mushi might turn the tides.
Yeah, that's why I say get a pipe on the Darkseer.
And he still doesn't have one, I don't believe. Although killing this Jug is going to be much more harder now because he has a Scotty, so...
He's going for Shiva's armor against... I mean, armor is really good against the Drow. I wouldn't deny that. But right now, what's killing them is all the spell damage from the Nyx and, you know, the Mirana. But on their defense, they're winning all the team fights, so you don't really need the pipe, right?
Yeah, they don't need the pipe.
Yeah,
they only have one BKB.
Jumping them first, so...
They only have one BKB, I believe, still on the Bat Rider, although that's getting a little bit low in terms of charges, but I mean, they have a Glimmer Cape too, which is also
It's not only
nice.
for the cost, though. I think that it's very important that you protect your supports from the Mirana, because he has a blink and leap. She can easily close the distance and, you know, go behind enemy lines to kill them.
Find and Flame, he's got BKB, he's gonna use it, he's gonna find a last spike carapace. Look at that damage though. Inflame is dead. Demonic Surge comes out, this might be the first fight that they can take. Aim is looking for the Omni Slash, he's already used it and hit it on Creeps in Ohio now. Getting chased down Spike Carapace, great silence, they get off the Greaves. There's the Ethereal Blade, Mushi coming with the Starstorm, but he needs to walk away. He needs some help from his team. Vacuum Wall combo, Blade Fury on top. There's gonna be the Grave as well. They're gonna lose 3, and they might even lose 4. Mushi might go down here to the Creeps, he's gonna jump into, I think, the side tree line. He's gonna be able to TP out and make it away. What a Vacuum Wall combo from that Darkseer, my lord, and they still came out on top.
I mean, that's why this guy was one of the best offlaners at TI last year. Oh my god.
That was an insane Vacuum Wall combo.
I was like, oh, Bad Rider's fine. Then I realized, oh, wait, he doesn't have a 4-star. He doesn't have a 4-star, so oh my god, he got screwed there.
He went for the BKB early.
He went for the bot after his BKB. So
Ohio, Impale only hits on the Demon. Aim's gonna get the Crimson Guard from XC helping him out, and the Demon's just trying to turn around with his Ignite. And they hit an arrow, I think. They hit something. They got a Ethereal Blade's gonna come through. Mushi might be in trouble. Good self-disruption. He should have leaped in a moment or two. Blade Fury's gonna come out. He'll leap away, but here comes the lasso, and Mushi graved in time, but no leap for 13, and he should fall here.
He didn't get to the high ground.
No.
Oh no.
And Aim just continues to go to work. Godlike on this Jug, and they'll find 4. Gem down. There's 3 dead still after the buyback. They have mid one, but he's just not pumping out the damage that he needs to in order to win these fights. They have to expend a lot. They pick up the gem, I believe, for CDEC.
They have Omni Slash up soon. Oh my god.
Blink Omni is ready. 10 seconds. Not only that, Manta Style to siege these towers is perfectly fine for them to do. They have 2 gems now. They have picked up the second one that Fnatic did lose, and they will more than likely lose a set of racks. They'll use the glyph here. No Nyx Assassin for 45 seconds, and Ohio is one of the heroes that's done the most work in this game for Fnatic right now. And CDEC.Youth, they'll turn their attention after bottom towards mid now. With no tier 3 there, they'll be able to clear out this mid-melee racks, mid-range racks, and it looks like Hey, this is the beginning of the end for Fnatic.
Man, it all comes down to the early game. I just think that it was so crucial for them to get the early game going for them, and losing 2 lanes at the start of the game was really, really bad. I mean, they still put up a fight, don't get me wrong, but they were supposed to have an advantage with their lineup in the early game.
It didn't end up working out that way, unfortunately. I mean, they had a trial it against the Juggernaut, but they just couldn't kill him. And I think a lot of that has to do with lack of disables, in my opinion, in that trial lane. I mean, might disagree, but it
was still a hard lane to win, though. Like, after the Ogre went top lane, I mean, Ogre got a kill in middle lane, and then he left and he went towards top lane. Once the Ogre was there, you look at their heroes, it's so hard for them to kill. Like, Juggernaut has spin. Wyvern is going to always be hiding in some spot, and Ogre is tanky. So it's very difficult for them to get kills, and if Juggernaut is farming in the lane, and CDEC.Youth
smoke gank, I think,
they can easily initiate on them and kill them with the stun from Ogre and the spin from Juggernaut. So.
Alright, well, oh no, Ohio misses the Impale, and Inflame does get the BKB off. Force back, Ohio in trouble, the Grave will get off there. Mid 1 is going to take some damage from 343 with the Winner's Curse. Vacuum in, walls there as well. No real damage coming out just yet, but 343 is low. Disruption will come out, and that should be it. A good one will fall next. The Omni Slash not even being used. The only hero is alive now. Mid 1 forced to buy back, and with 3 heroes versus 5. Yes, all of their abilities are down.
Oh, good, Travis. Let's go.
Let's go. Fire Blast, Fire Blast like crazy, Mr. Ogre Magi. He gets off the dust coming through, and an Omni Slash comes out, actually bounces the creeps, and it goes right towards mid 1 at the end. It's actually XZ jumping in. The Glimmer Cape will come. There's the Sheep's Guard vacuum back in. The Grave will keep him alive momentarily, but he will fall nonetheless. And that will be game number 1 going to CDEC.Youth, and a strong game at that one.
And they played so well this game. Holy shit.
Yeah, they own.
They just own, man. They outplayed their enemies. They made so many good decisions. There were some minor mistakes here and there, but overall they utilized their timings very well. The first move where they made very early in the team fight, where they understood they had the mag, and obviously they made a move as well before Black got a Bat Rider got a blink. He had early jumps, and they made a smoke. So I think overall this game CDEC just used their timings very well after winning the early game.
I mean, we talked about the draft and how we thought it was really favorable towards Fnatic at one point in time.
Yeah, I mean, they were supposed to win the lanes quite handily, I feel, but they lost.